Alright YouTube, today I'm going to show you how to change an inner tube in a bicycle. It's actually pretty simple. I'm going to do it real time to show you. You only need one tool, and on just about every, we're going to call this a Walmart quality bicycle, it's going to be a 15mm wrench. You can get this one, I got it as a set at Harbor Freight for like 20 bucks on sale. And you always need wrenches. Excuse the rain on the roof. So, I'm going to start. This tire's good. This one won't hold air. It just keeps leaking right back out. It's got a hole in the inner tube. So, first thing I'm going to do, flip it over and disconnect the brake, which is super easy. You squeeze them together and it just pops apart, just like that. Now the brakes are out the way. This is for the front tire. For the back tire, it's very similar. You just have to thread the chain over it. We're going to go ahead and loosen our two nuts. And these little keepers right here, if you can see them, they kind of lock in. That way, if these bolts come loose, the wheel doesn't just fall off on you. Sometimes be a little bit of trick to get off of there. They just kind of rest in there. You twist them one way, they want to twist the other way, kind of deal. There goes. Just like that, wheels off. So, see if I can show you on the wheel here. See these little jangly things? These are the keepers. All right. If you don't already, take your valve cap off. I'll set the wheel on the ground. I'm going to pry the tire away from the rim a little bit, all the way around, make sure it's loose. I'll do that on both sides, going both ways. Then we're going to take the valve stem down, put it on the ground, kind of put a little pressure with your foot, not too much. You're just going to roll it and pop it off like that. It's a bit of a, I don't know, learning curve. You get the feel for it, but in essence, you roll it forward, tuck your thumbs, and push all at the same time. And by pushing down with your foot on the bottom, you take the slack out the bottom of the rim, and you can just roll it over the top. There's our inner tube that's bad. You can look it over, you know, to find out if it's fixable. Inner tubes are cheap, just buy a new one. You can fill it with this stuff, which just makes your life miserable later, because when it does finally bust open, everything's got it all over. Just buy a new inner tube. They're like $6. Or even if you ride a lot, you know, go on Amazon or something, buy like 10 of them. Have some spares. These are pretty good. I get them at the Wally World, the Goodyear brand. They're like extra thick. I haven't had one fail yet. I mean, not from, you know, just regular catching a nail or something. But these are nice to even come with little tools to put them on. And you can see it, they're pre-powdered. And you can see it here. When you install these, you want to make sure you put some baby powder or something on there so it doesn't stick. Got our new inner tube here. Stretch out. We're going to take Mr. Valve Cap off. I'm going to put just a touch of air in here. Got my air compressor over here in the corner. I'm going to put just a little bit of air. You don't have to have an air compressor. You can do this with a hand pump. You can do it with one of the foot pumps. If you got enough wind in you, I'm sure you could blow it up by mouth. There it is. Just that much. Just enough to give it some shape. And you see how it's holding its shape, it's not flopping around. I'm going to fit it into our tire here. Now you can look, the tread on this tire is directional. So when we put it back on the bike, we're going to want it facing this way. That way it matches the other tire and all. And just work our tube in there. A little bit at a time. We'll get it all the way. Just tires are kind of old, so they're pretty stiff. This bike's got some age on it. All right, we've got a tube in our tire. Now, same thing as last time. We're going to start, find the hole for the valve stem, line it up with the valve stem, put it in there. Just going to start things off gently. So I got it sticking through a ways. Now, we'll turn it over. Make sure our tube's not sticking out anywhere. We're just going to slowly work it back on. Just like that. Tire's back on. Now it's ready for air. What we're going to do is give this a little tug and wiggle the tire to make sure it's centered. Because sometimes they'll get stuck like that and it'll kink the tube and it'll go have a leak. So we know we're good there. I'm going to put a little bit of air in to bring it tight. Not going to fill it up to pressure yet. So we got some air in there. Now you're going to do is go around the whole edge of the rim here and look and make sure it's even. See, like you can see over here, there's a little bit of the stripe showing, but on this side it's tucked in. So you want to do is just make sure it's even, because one, your tire will have a wobble to it, and two, especially if you run bikes with higher pressure tires, the wheel will want to pop out. The tire will pop out and blow the inner tube out. So we're looking pretty good here. You can read right here on the tire, it wants to be inflated to 40 to 65 psi. Going to go with 40 because we ride on some pretty rougher terrain. Not off-road per se, but we're riding for comfort. We're not riding for, style. So, put it up there. Feels about 30 something. Get my air gauge. Let's see. My guess is 33. Way off. 22. That's good enough. And that'll work there too. All right, we're going to put our tire back on, remembering the direction the tread goes. Got a little keepers in our hands here. Tighten these down by hand evenly. Tire spin, make sure it's straight and even in that wheel. You want it to look just, by eye, pretty straight. We'll tighten it. Either side. So it looks nice and straight. New valve cap on. Put our brake back together. Which some bikes you don't have to do this. But some you do. Some you actually have to turn this little adjuster here to loosen it up. But just as quick as you could watch me, that front tire's got a brand new tube in it. You would have had to go through all that process to put a patch on it anyway. Why not just put a new tube? So, hope you enjoyed the video. Comment, rate, subscribe. Have an awesome day.